Today I'm going to be sharing some of the equipment that I use to make videos and even just for painting in general, mainly just the easel and a kitchen cart, which is weird, but useful, you'll see. Pretty fine art. You guys have been asking me to make this video for years, and it's been so many years that I initially recorded it like 3 years ago, and then all that equipment is obviously out of date. I re-recorded it again maybe a month ago, tried editing it. Turns out I did a terrible job because I'm bad at filming videos like this. I mean, I can film art videos. This is a whole other thing. So anyway, this is going to be my last attempt, and one way or another, this is getting shared with you guys. Now, in addition to the equipment that I'm using, I'm also going to share where I buy all of my tech gear. I will share that at the end of the video and why I buy there and not a more commonly shopped at online location. Well, that's vague. It's not that vague. Anyway, so the first thing we'll talk about is the camera. This camera that I'm shooting on right now, this is the Canon M50. This is not the same camera that I use to shoot the actual painting. Now, the camera that I use for filming my video, I use a normal video camera because it's not going to time out. I can record for 8 hours on end and it's never going to time out. Whereas with the DSLRs, or this one is a mirrorless, they have a setting in them that will make them time out. So I am not going to remember to hit record again, and while I do know there's some workarounds, I am not capable of figuring those out. So I use this camera for recording any vlogs. If I go out and record, this is the camera I bring with me. It's a fairly lightweight camera considering the quality that you're getting. It's amazing. I love this camera. There are two lenses that I have for this camera, the one that it came with and the Sigma lens. And I will have to have a card pop up because I don't remember the actual names of anything. Well, you're lucky I remember my own name most days. It is terrifying how many things I can't remember. So the Sigma lens that I'm using on this you can get that super blurry background. Now, I am not a photographer. I don't know all the terms, but I can tell you this gives you that really, really shallow depth of field. And this camera also does a really good job of tracking me. As I say that, it's probably going to go out of focus, but normally it tracks me really well. As you can see, when I back up, the camera is going to keep focused on me. Everything in the background comes into focus as well. And as I move forward or move around, it's going to refocus on me. And it does such a good job of doing that. So for me, I record on my own. I don't have a film crew or anything fancy like that, or even somebody else to film for me at all. Everything has to be done on my own. So the fact that this camera is going to refocus on me and I don't have to constantly mess with it, like I said, it occasionally goes out of focus, but not that much. It's normally really good. The other thing is that this one has a pop-out viewfinder. I have a Canon 6D that I use to shoot reference photos or to take photos of my artwork when I'm going to make prints. I don't like that for vlogging or for recording intros. While it looks great, it doesn't have the pop-out viewfinder. So I find it to be the better fit for me when I'm taking photographs, but for filming video, this camera and this setup has just been like hands down so much better, which is funny because it's way cheaper than my like the one that I use for actual photos. Now, all of the equipment that I'm using, I am going to have links to everything in the video description. I think that's going to take me longer to link everything out than it is to actually make this video, which is saying something because this video is stupidly long. So back to this camera. It has that pop-out viewfinder, which is amazing. And again, with the Sigma lens, it is so like that super blurry background. If that's what you're looking for, this setup is great. For the tripod, any tripod, I'm not picky with that. It's just an adjustable cheapy, I don't even know the name brand. Like, it's not a name brand, not a fancy tripod. I do have a tripod that I really like, a Manfrotto, that has the fluid head. So if you want that super smooth, almost looks like a gimbal, that really smooth footage, that one is wonderful for that, but it's not a must-have. That one is one of those supplies that I would consider kind of a fun toy, but not necessary to make videos. Now, bringing that up, I do want to say, before we go into everything, I probably should have said this at the beginning, you don't need what I have. You don't need what anyone has to get started. Don't feel like because you can't get certain supplies or you're not in a position where you can afford them just yet, because I know I wasn't. It's taken me years to collect most of this stuff. Do not feel like you can't get started making videos. Don't feel, the same thing with your artwork. If you can't afford the same easel I have, that doesn't mean you can't make amazing, amazing paintings. You don't need what everyone else has to get started. When it comes to making videos, if that means using your cell phone and recording, do it. Whatever gets you started, get started. Don't let all of the fun toys that other YouTubers have be the thing that holds you back or be the thing that makes you think, I'm not ready, I can't get started yet because I don't have those tools yet. I often call these tools my toys because they kind of are. I don't have to have them to make videos. When I started making videos, I had this little flip cam. Like it's kind of hilarious. I found it recently. I'll show you guys in the future. It's so cute because it's this funny little, anyway. Then I upgraded to a camera that I want to say I spent about $150 on, something right around there. And that was the camera that I used for the next, gosh, 4 or 5 years on YouTube. Then I switched up to a Canon video camera that cost a lot more than that one. And while yes, quality went up on the videos, I got started by using whatever I had available. They were not amazing cameras. I mean, even by some standards, what I'm using now wouldn't be considered amazing cameras. So the point of all of that rambling is if you don't have these things, don't let that hold you back. And the same goes for art supplies. Use whatever you have available. If that is a number 2 pencil and a piece of computer paper, that's what it is. So moving on, the next thing that I did in this case, I want to start vlogging a lot more. And I mean, right now with the whole zombie virus thing, I'm obviously not going a whole lot of places, but I wanted to make sure that bringing this camera setup with me was going to be convenient. I don't leave things in the car. Like my violin, I'm a violinist, never leave that in the car. So from the time I was a kid, I'm used to carrying around big heavy things and not leaving them in the car for storage. Your car is not your storage. I wish I could convince my husband of that. Anyway, if I'm going to bring my camera, I need to bring it in with me. If that means we're going into a restaurant or the grocery store or whatever, I have to bring it with me. And I really didn't want to bring a big heavy camera bag. I also don't want people knowing I'm carrying a fairly expensive camera with me. So I wanted a purse, in my case, ladies looking purse, that didn't look like a camera bag. And I did find some that I liked that were nice, but they were also in the $400 range. For that same price, actually way less than that price, I was able to get 4 camera bags that are handmade by somebody on Etsy. I even had her make a custom teal one for me because it's me and you guys know my obsession. These bags are so nice and they look like purses. I warned you I'm bad at filming stuff like this. So let's see how bad of a job I can do with sharing these. So here's the teal one, looks kind of blue on the camera. This is it's like a little purse. It's just an over the shoulder because that's what I wear for my purses. And it fits everything I need. It fits this camera here that we're talking on. It fits my mic, whether I'm using my Rode, I forget which, I'll have to link those mics. I'll show you that mic later. We'll get to the mics. Or my wireless mic, which is the one I normally bring with me now because it's so much smaller, but it fits all of that. It also has these little pockets. I guess I can take this off. Little soft pockets. It's all nice and padded, and it holds like spare batteries. It will hold in this case, these are my lens filters. It holds all of that. It holds my wallet, and I think I have a lip gloss in. Yep. Lip gloss. It holds everything that I need. I mean, it's kind of a tight fit, but it's perfect because they're not super big. So for me, I got this one in teal, and it came with a cute little, I don't know, can you see these charms? Let's see if I can get these to focus. There we go. Cute little charm. Nope, focus. You're not focused. See, I told you I'm bad at this sort of. Come on, focus on this. There we go. Look at how cute that little camera is. There's a little camera and a little heart guy. I also got one that is a black denim, and this is gonna be the same. It's all nice and padded inside. You've got sections for I also fit an extra lens in here. So I have 2 lenses, the one that's on my camera now, and I usually, depending on where I'm going to be, will bring the lens that came with this camera. It's better for certain situations. That one's just better for. Normally this is my go-to though. I got this cute gray one. He's tan inside, and he has a little tassel guy on him. And then this one is a bit smaller. This one I will not use if I'm bringing both lenses. If I want an even smaller bag, I've got this cute little, you're not focusing, there we go. It doesn't like the white balance there, but this cream colored one. And then we've got tan, kind of a grayish tan, I don't know. For an artist, I sure don't know colors. Cute little pockets, that's the other thing, the little pockets in the front. This is where I'm storing my cell phone. It doesn't fit inside with my bag or my camera. So those are my camera bags. They're amazing. I will link to her shop in the video description, but it was so much cheaper for me to get these that are handmade. So I'm supporting somebody, another creator or artist, and they're super cute and so much cheaper than the purses that I was actually shopping for online that were made for cameras. And these are made for cameras. but they're handmade and the quality is wonderful. I have so far only used the teal one. I take that one with me everywhere. I have seen no wear or tear on it. And so I'm just excited. I think they're gonna last a pretty long time. So well made, can't say enough good about them. Okay, so the microphones that I use. I have multiple microphones that I use in my entire recording system setup. I had been using the blue Yeti. Again, I'll have to have a little pop-up because I don't remember names, but I used that one for years. This is the one that I had used for recording the voiceovers, and also I've been using it for my live streams. The problem with that is it's in one location. So if I get up and walk across the room to get something out of a drawer that I forgot while I'm live streaming, or anything, if I turn my head, and you will hear that throughout this one. When I turn my head here, loud. If I look over here, you're not gonna hear it as much. But that, I mean, it's unavoidable. That is so much worse on my bigger microphones. I may as well show you what it is. This is the blue Yeti that I have been using for years. I have 3 of them, 1 in my office and 2 in the studio. So depending on where I'm working, these are really good. I've got a Rode arm that, I don't know names of things. This is terrible. This is why I put off making these videos, because I sound, well, like me. So anyway, that microphone is great if you want it sitting on your desk, or you can have it on a arm thing hanging over wherever you're working. But again, the problem is if you move, if you want to, anything like that, it's a bit of a pain. So I have not used those since I got the wireless mic. I haven't used those at all. So if I were to go back and do it, well, these wireless mics haven't been around that long, but if I were to do it again, I would not probably go out and get those. I would recommend the wireless one that I'm using here. So this one is the I forgot the words. The Rode Go Wireless, and they're really small, like these little cute little boxes. I'll have a photo, but these super small little boxes. One of them clamps on top of the camera, and then one of them is in my back pocket, and I've got the lavalier mic in addition to that. The Rode Wireless Go system, you can technically use without a lavalier mic. I wouldn't. It's kind of a big, I would have like this big square thing that says Rode across it. It would be very awkward, but it can be used without the lavalier. I definitely would recommend picking up the lavalier for that. That is what I've got here. This one is the Rode. I've got another one that I used that worked as well that wasn't Rode brand. The problem was that the adapter on that one was wrong, so I had to have an extra adapter. It was kind of a pain. This one's made to go with this wireless system. Anyway, it's amazing. I love it so much. This has made such a big difference for me on my live streams, and I've been using it on just recording in my office. This thing cuts out echoes like you wouldn't believe. This room is so echoey. My studio, it's actually the master bedroom in my house. It's one of the biggest rooms, and there's no, I mean, I have a area rug, but it's not carpeted in here. So it is so echoey, and you don't really notice it with this mic. And my other mics, my Yeti Blue mics, super echoey. So huge improvement there. I've been using this when I record my Patreon voiceovers as well. So in that room, in my office, I have my fish tank, and the filter, you could always kind of hear it a little bit. I'd have to go back and do a lot of editing to pull that out as like that minor hum. I'd have to pull that out of the, when I edited it, and it was a lot of extra work. With this thing, it's not picking up that hum. So the quality of this so far is amazing. I've only had it about a month, so I can't speak as to how long it's going to last, but oh my gosh, I love it. I did have to get on a waiting list, or I pre-ordered, but it's not really pre-order because they've been out forever. I don't know if it's a virus, with the whole COVID thing or what it is, but they've been very, very hard to get. I waited for, 3 weeks after I did the pre-order, 4 weeks maybe, I don't remember, but I waited for quite a while. Totally worth the wait. I just pre-ordered it from B&H. That's where I typically get my tech stuff, and I'll talk again more about that at the end. But if it is something you're gonna buy, just know as of the time of recording this, there may be a little bit of a wait. Worth it. So that is it for microphones. No, it's not. That's a lie. One more microphone. So I also have a Rode shotgun mic. Now, know that these are not all created the same, even within the same brand. I was not a huge fan of Rode because the 2 other Rode products I had purchased in the past, well, I liked their mic stands, but besides that, the 2 other Rode microphones that I purchased in the past were horrible. It wasn't usable. It was terrible. So, and they were shotgun mics set up on the camera, and it was just, I was not happy with the results I got. Well, it turns out you get what you pay for. I got the lesser version of those. I mean, they've got multiple kind of tiers, I guess, of quality as it turns out. So those were not, I didn't like them. This one, it is quite a bit more expensive than the lower tiered ones. The difference in quality, it's just night and day. These are amazing. So this one has the dead cat on it. This is the shotgun mic, and this just sets right on, I guess it would face that way, but right on the camera itself. It has your little shoe guy there. The normal one that you would use, here's the normal cover. That is what it looks like. It is not very big, and so this fits in that purse too. It is a tight fit, but those purses that I'm using, it does fit in those. So if you want, and you can get those camera bags, by the way, in a much larger size if you like to carry around bigger things. I don't, my purse, like my normal everyday purse is this teeny, tiny, like my mom makes fun of me because not much fits in there. It's like, it holds my wallet, lip gloss, and my phone. That is it. But anyway, this mic, it is a tight fit. The dead cat doesn't fit in there so well. This usually, this I'll leave in the car. But this mic, it works. It's good if I'm gonna be recording like a lot of people talking, or I wanna get the whole atmosphere in a room. This mic works really well for that. And again, if you're gonna get this, get the Pro, the one that I linked below. Don't get the lesser ones. My experience with them, they were a waste. I have them and I won't use them because they were so bad. I should have returned them. I don't know why I didn't. I'm dumb. The dead cat. This thing is great for outdoors. It can be super, super windy outdoors. You can still hear me clearly with this thing. So these are, if I'm gonna get this, I'm going to get this one. I did go with the Rode brand. They make off brands. I can't speak as to the quality of those as far as the dead cat, but for this, it's amazing. Now, if you were outside and it was super windy, you can get a little floof ball thing that goes over, I don't know what the actual term is. I just remember that one being dead cat because I think it's hilarious. Like, they named it that. But anyway, I'm not just making that up. But you can get the little floofs. Hold on, I have one. These little floof guys, and you can just stick that on top of the mic. I probably shouldn't do that while I'm trying to talk, but that will help to cut out the wind. Now, another thing, if you are going to go with this setup and this lens, you're going to want to get a lens filter for going outside. This lens, because it gets such you can get that super shallow depth of field. You've got that really low aperture. It's letting a ton of light in, and it will just wash everything out. Even here, you can see how washed out I am. And I closed most of, I can't talk. I closed most of the blinds in this room in order to get that. When I go outside, if I left my settings like they are, you can't see anything. And even when I adjust the settings, it only improves so much. So the solution to that, and I'm bringing this up just because I didn't realize this when I bought this setup, and I had to wait until, like, I figured it out pretty quickly. Oh my gosh, I need a filter for this. I wish I had known when I ordered it so I could have had them all at the same time. But you're gonna want an ND filter. This is, it's like sunglasses for your lens. And this is going to help it so that not so much light is going through. And it doesn't make it look like you have sunglasses on the lens. Like, it doesn't darken it that much. It just makes it look more normal. And it's super windy today, so I'm gonna switch microphones to that Rode shotgun mic so you can get an idea of how amazing that is. Like, it's super windy. You should hear nothing but static. Anyway, let's go. So this is what I was talking about. You can't see me at all. I have no filter on me and nothing. You can't see a thing. Now with these same settings, and I can change this to make it even better, but this just gives you an idea of what I mean by not having a filter. Without this filter, if you wanted to use this lens, you can't see a thing without it. So yeah, that. And then the other thing I want to point out is it's windy. You can see my hair's blowing, and normally with cameras, if it's this windy, you're not going to be able to hear me. You're gonna have it sounds terrible. But with that dead cat I was talking about, it's perfect. Jumping in really quick, I forgot to include this, so I'm recording this after. The other tripod, I know I said I don't really care too much about which ones I'm using and all of that, with this exception. This one is the JOBY, I'm guessing JOBY. It's a Gorilla, I don't know, again, words. They're gonna be on the screen. But this is what I use when I'm doing handheld video. If I'm walking around outside, or if I'm at a store or whatever, and I just hold this at a distance, so we're more like this, and I can sit and just talk to the camera that way and carry it around with me. It also is great because you can wrap it, it's all bendy, you can wrap it around a fence or whatever you want. So if, like me, you record everything yourself, this is gonna be a huge, huge help. I absolutely love this. I also wanna say, if you're looking for better tech reviews, the website or the YouTube channel that I use is called Think Media. They're the ones who told me about that. Well, not told me, told everybody about this camera, this lens, this microphone. Like, they have never steered me wrong. Everything I've bought that they suggested, I absolutely, like, it's a good channel. Check them out. And their reviews are far more thorough than mine. by a lot. Like they actually know what they're talking about. So 9-day difference. The next thing that I want to show you is my easel and the setup for just everyday painting and how I have my camera so that it's not at a strong angle. So the way that I used to do things, I had my camera on a normal tripod, like what you're sitting on right now. And everything was super skewed, and it's still skewed a little bit, but I mean, the angle was bad. And so getting rid of the tripod and instead moving over to this setup works much better. It's what musicians are going to use for microphones. It has an adapter that allows a video camera, or well, any kind of camera can be added to it. And this guy will move. It weighs a ton. If you're gonna get this, make sure you get the very, very heavyweight one. I wanna say this one weighs over 20 pounds or up to 20, I don't know. It costs a lot more, but it is so, so worth it. If you get a tripod that is not heavyweight enough, and musicians, you know what this is like to work with a boom mic stand that is cheap, the whole thing's gonna fall over. You do not want your expensive camera falling over. You don't want your inexpensive camera falling over. It's not okay. If you're just using a webcam, that's gonna be lightweight enough, it's not a big deal. But when you need a heavy, heavy duty boom mic stand that is not going to be tipping over or drooping as you work. So that's going to make a big difference for you. But this guy, I can move around and position it right in front of my easel or painting. Words are still hard. So that is how I'm able to get my camera really in front of what I'm painting without it being super in the way. So the camera is almost always like right here, here, we'll move over. So it's like right here, and then I'm painting right here. So it's really in front of that easel. You're not then getting the back of my head as I'm working too much. It avoids a lot of those problems. Okay, the next thing I wanna show you is the easel itself. As you can see, it is huge. It's big. Really, really nice. You do not need an easel this big. I do recommend, if you're going to get an easel, don't get the little flimsy tripod one that every time you put pressure with the brush, the whole thing tips over. You don't want that. The H-frames, those are really, really good. This one kind of is like my old H-frame. It's just a bigger, he's been working out much more so than my last H-frame. But something that's gonna be heavyweight is going to be ideal for you, that when you do apply pressure with the brush or the pencil, the whole thing is not sliding back. So that is what this guy is. I can't show that painting because if I get this edited, it should be edited before the painting is done. Painting is a surprise for someone. I don't want him to see it on the video, so can't share. But this guy has a pulley system. There's a crank in the back, so I can easily raise and lower the base here. It's got a tray, like a larger tray than most easels have, so I can put my paintbrushes on it. I've got these little cups that are stuck because I put too much crap in them, but these little cups that just pop out. I guess in the photos, I think they showed using water in these. I don't. I guess I could. I see myself making a big mess if I had my water there. We'll get to that. So that is my easel. It's on wheels. I can move it around as necessary. And the way that this adjusts, I can work on a super small painting. I can work on a huge painting. It will do everything for me. This is this is the last easel I should ever need to buy. Like, it's not something you have to replace often. So while this one is extremely expensive, at least for me, it was very expensive. I had to save for a long time to get it. It's going to last, like it's a permanent fixture in my studio, like for the rest of my life. This thing is going to last me. Next, over here, is it showing? Yes, it is showing. Here is my laptop. I have just this was my old laptop that I used to use for live streaming. It's not, the quality, I can't talk. The quality of that is not amazing. So this works out really well. It's kind of been replaced by a much better laptop. My MSI is the one that I use for live streaming. This one is the one that I use for my reference photos now. And I've got it hooked up to a monitor that is attached to the wall that I can move up and down, tilt it, however I need to see my reference photo. So convenient. Now for your reference photos, I do recommend looking at them on either an iPad or a tablet of some sort or a laptop where you can blow them up. I don't typically recommend printing your reference photos. One, you're gonna go through ink. Ink is expensive. It's not really worth it financially. You would save so much money getting a cheapy laptop than you would over just the ink itself of constantly printing your reference photos. That, and at least in my case, I've never had a good printer. My printers always miss detail. It would print things too dark. I couldn't see things, and you can't zoom in. So in an inexpensive laptop, tablet, something like that for your reference photos is definitely what I would recommend. You don't need to go this elaborate with the setup with the bigger monitor and such, but for me in here, this has been, it's been wonderful. For my laptop for live streaming, I'm using an MSI, so it's a gaming laptop. When it comes to editing videos, editing photos, editing whatever, if you don't know a lot about laptops, it's kind of safe to go with a gaming. The gaming laptops are gonna be able to handle a whole lot more than like my little HP did. So that is what this one is. If you are looking to get something for editing, something for videos, and stay within a budget, don't go with a laptop. You pay extra for having that small form. I would definitely, and they had a tendency, when I would edit videos, they have a tendency to overheat. I haven't had that problem with the MSI, but it is something that you want to be aware of. Normally for people editing videos, and even with me, when I edit my videos, normally I do it on, it's another MSI, but it's a desktop. If you were to compare specs, like let's say all your specs were equal across the board, I mean they never are, but let's pretend they were, laptop versus desktop, you are going to spend far less for the desktop version than you are the laptop version. So just be aware of that. If you are trying to save money, the laptop is probably not where you want to jump to when you're looking at something for editing and video or even photos. I'm not going to go into the Apple side of things. I'm not personally an Apple fan. I'm definitely a PC person, so I don't really have a whole lot to add as far as that goes. The last thing I want to show you is how I've got my palette set up. I got this kitchen island. Look at me with my purses just laying on the floor here. Purses, shoes, dog toy. Oh my gosh. Pretend to be professional, Lisa. But this cart is great. These little leaves here will fold down, so the two ends, it can be smaller, or I've got mine up where it holds my palette, my water, everything is on there. Really, really convenient. I can clamp my lamp. You can see I've got a light and actually that's the live stream camera, but I normally have my GoPro is what I record my palette with for my tutorials. That is all sitting there. Random begonia sitting up there. I mean, I've got room for everything. I should have probably cleaned that up before I filmed, but this is what it looks like in practice while I'm using it. The last thing that I want to cover is for tech gear. For less expensive stuff, tripods I'm not too worried about, adapters and little things I don't care about. That I all get from the normal website we all shop at. I don't want to get myself in trouble. Like, I'm not bashing them. It's just a warning that I want to throw out there when it comes to higher end tech stuff. So this camera, my Canon camera, my webcams, I don't worry as much about. They're not super expensive, but all of that sort of thing, I do not buy on websites where third-party sellers are there. Wacom tablets, do not buy unless it's from an authorized dealer, because what's happening is a lot of these third-party sellers go on there and sell refurbished things as brand new, and you're paying full price for refurbished crap that has issues. Quick story, one of my friends, she bought a Wacom tablet. She did not know that that other seller was online that we all use was not an authorized retailer for Wacom tablets. They still sell, they're on there all the time, but it's all third-party sellers. So when she got hers and it didn't work right, within a month, she contacted the manufacturer and they're like, not authorized, you're on your own. Now she was within enough of a time frame that not the seller, but the main website got involved and she got taken care of. But if it had been longer, she would have been completely screwed because she, let's say it was 6 months down the road where it still should be under warranty and it crashed. It just screen went out, did not work anymore. Turned out it was refurbished. So the manufacturer wouldn't have worked with her or helped her at all because it wasn't bought from an authorized retailer. So just be aware of that. Check the websites you're buying, who it's from. If you're getting tech, it's fine as far as I know if it's from the actual website, but you can buy it through the website from a third-party seller and not realize when it looks. Anyway, I don't mess with that stuff. All of my tech gear, cameras, video camera, well, I guess that's still a camera, anything more expensive, TVs, computer monitors, computers, What else have I gotten on there? We actually, from that other the website we all shop at, we got a refurbished TV that broke shortly after. It wasn't supposed to be, it was sold as new. We had a mop that I'm certain was refurbished. When I opened the box, it's like, oh, that's not new. It was sold as new. So these are things, there are some known things. There's some known beauty, actually, the scrubby brush thing for your face, like it cleans all your makeup out really good. Those run about $150 at the specific one that I use. And it's a known thing if you get it from that website, how many sellers are on there selling fakes that rust because they're not waterproof like they're supposed to be, but they're selling at full price. You're not even getting a discount for buying their refurbished, or in that case, fakes. So again, if it's gonna be a pricier item, I go make sure you're buying from an authorized retailer. So in that case, for me, it's B&H Photo. That is and this is not a sponsored video. I do have affiliate links that I set up with them, but I'm not sponsored by, I don't work with them otherwise besides those affiliate links. But that's who I personally always buy from. And I actually set up the affiliate link so that I wouldn't be linking like you guys to where I wouldn't necessarily recommend buying a lot of this stuff if you're not being careful about whether it's third party or not and all of that fun stuff. So yes, B&H Photo is where I buy all of my equipment. And the other thing that I really like about buying from them versus the website that everybody uses is that the website that everybody uses does not price match themselves anymore. So like if something goes on sale a day, like it can still be in shipping. You haven't even received I had this happen. Hadn't even received the item yet and it dropped by $10 and I contacted them, yeah, we don't guarantee our own prices anymore. Whereas like if you went to Target, you go to B&H, if within a month their price, it goes on sale, they will refund you the difference. And I've done it several times with B&H. I did it with this camera, went on sale by I think $100. It was $50 or $100 after I bought it. And they just sent me no problem. Like I just emailed them and they just sent it. There was no arguing. There was no convincing them. They just do it. Like their customer service is amazing. I have nothing but good to say about B&H Photo. I've been using them for years. Amazing. That's who all of my affiliate links. And moving forward, I'm going to keep my tech stuff affiliate links with them because yeah. But whoever you decide to buy from, when you're getting the more expensive stuff, just be aware some of these websites, I mean, even Walmart does it because Walmart has they're trying to be more like the website that we all use. And they, I feel like don't say the Voldemort. You think for how many times I see that video or watch Harry Potter, I would be able to clearly say that name. But, anyway, that Walmart has third-party sellers and they are running into the same thing where you get people selling stuff that is not supposed to be on there and it can be a mess. So just make sure when you get the expensive stuff, because you want your warranties to be good and you don't want to be paying full price for refurbished, make sure it's an authorized dealer that you're actually buying from. So I hope this video helped. I have a lot more tech stuff I use, GoPros and different stands and different things that I did not include in here, gimbals and such, but these are my like more everyday, I use these things all the time supplies. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully I don't have to I'm not shooting this again. I'm editing it. This is going up no matter how bad it is. It's gonna have to happen. Have you subscribed yet? If not, I have a handy button right there. It's round, has an orange arrow going towards it. If you click on that, that'll help you to keep up to date with all of my new art videos, hopefully every single week. I think I've got stuff sorted out with my schedule. I'm gonna make it happen. More edited videos are coming now.